Okay, so we've finished the first week of lectures now. I hope that you've watched the first 4 videos. And I thought this was a really good time to introduce you to Octave and Matlab. So, well, Matlab and Octave are pieces of software that we can use to do some mathematics for us. And as you get better and more used to these pieces of software, you can do more complicated and more useful things. Okay, Matlab is a paid software and it's very well supported. I'm not sure what the price of a student license is, but you can purchase Matlab for this class. Or an alternative is you can use a Matlab clone, which is free, which is open source, called Octave. Okay, and Octave is again a package that you can download for your computer, and it does most of the things that Matlab does with a very similar syntax or a very similar commands. But there is one alternative that I wanted to show you here, which is called Octave Online. So if you go to your browser, your favorite web browser, I'm using Chrome, so I know that it works in Chrome. If you go to octave-online.net and you go there, you get greeted with some interesting animation and some fairly bland, colorful interface. But in fact, we can use this Octave just through this web browser. So we can solve some mathematics problems just using our web browser. Okay, so well, we're greeted here with a command prompt down the bottom here, so I can type 2 plus 2 and it will compute that is 4. But what we want to do is actually sign in so that we can use scripts. We want to write actual pieces of text file or pieces of code that we can run using Octave or even Matlab. Okay, so to do that we go up to the menu on the top right here and we click menu. You can sign in, well, you have to sign up first, right? So you can sign up and sign in with Google, which is probably the easiest way, or you can sign in using your email. And so I believed I signed in with email, so I'm going to click sign in with email via token. I'm going to enter my email address, which is if I can click it, it's l.fullard@massey.ac.nz. It'll send me a code and I'll go grab that code out of my email now. Okay, I've got the code, I'm just going to paste it in here, submit, and it should sign me into Octave. Okay, so now you can see that I've still got my, I'm going to dismiss these pop-ups. I've still got my command prompt on the right here, so I can still go 2 plus 2 equals 4. But now I've also got this extra window on the left here. So this is actually places where I can write Matlab files or Octave files, commands to do things. Okay, so I've started a file called new to Octave here, and what I've got here is some basic Matlab or some basic Octave commands. Okay, so you can see here that I'm creating a symbolic variable x, and I'm plotting some function, the log of x plus 2, between x equals 0 and 10. Okay, this is what this line here says: easy plot some symbolic variable x, the log of x rather, plus 2 between x equals 0 and x equals 10. I've added a title, an x label, and a y label. So I could write that code. I could save this file using this save or Control S, or just pressing save file here. And through my web browser, I can press run. Okay, and Octave has a think. It's taking a little while to run, but it eventually plots this function log of x plus 2. Okay, so it's plotted my title and my y and x axis. And again, it's plotted this function between 0 and 10. I can also export this figure by, on the top right here, there's a button that says expand plot window. So I can see my plot here. I can download it as a PNG or an SVG image file. So PNG is probably the easiest. Well, it's quite a common image file, so you can download your figure as a PNG and stick it into a report in your assignment, for example. But there are other things we can do, of course, with Octave, so which we can also do with Matlab. So perhaps I say I may want to solve an equation. Okay, so I might want to solve the equation x squared minus 9 equals 0. So let's see if that works here. Okay, so it doesn't like that I've only got 1 equals here, so let me add 2. Okay, so it says the equation x squared minus 9 equals 0 has the solutions -3 and 3. X equals -3 and x equals 3 are the two solutions of this equation x squared minus 9 equals 0, which of course is true. So those are the correct solutions. We can also enter vectors and matrices. Well, let's just enter a matrix A. So we're going to have, let's have a 3 by 3 matrix, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3 in the first row of the matrix, 4, 5, 6 in the second row, 7, 8, 9 in the third row of the matrix. So if I save that and run that, then I should have this matrix A equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And of course we can define another matrix. Let's say B equals, or let's say A minus 1. So if I run that, then B is just going to be the matrix same as A, but every entry has 1 taken away from it. And of course I could do things like matrix multiplication, such as A times B, which I haven't checked the solution, but I assume is giving us the right answer there. So the point that I'm trying to make is that Octave Online is a really good option for you if you don't have Matlab, or if you don't want to pay for the Matlab license. Octave Online can do everything we need to in this course, and even if you don't have internet, you could install Octave onto your machine locally, so that you don't need the web browser to run it. But if you have Matlab, then you may like to use Matlab because there's probably a lot more support for Matlab. Again, as with any part of this course, if you're having any trouble at all, what I would suggest is two things. Firstly, I would post your question or post your issue that you're having to the forum on the class stream site. Okay, and we can have other students can be posting, helping you out with your problems that you're having. And of course, you can always email me with any issues as well, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay, so this was just a really brief introduction to Octave. I'm not going to do an introduction to Matlab because, well, you should have seen Matlab before, and also the syntax is pretty similar. Well, in this case, for the things we've done today, is exactly the same. Okay, so I'll see you next week in week 2 of lectures.